My name is Paulin Hansen. I'm a professor at the Technical University of Denmark, and I'll be presenting a video, not a slideshow, on a project that we have been working on for a couple of years, and it's all about giving access to virtual reality from a wheelchair. Now, you may know that virtual reality is an interesting new media that allows people to play games, take training courses, and in the not-so-far future also to participate in a social event. You have things like Facebook Spaces and so on that would be a tremendous offer to people who have mobility problems, that they can go and partake in a meeting or a social gathering with people on a virtual reality kind of setting. Also, you have seen virtual reality being used for evaluating new designs of wheelchairs and for teaching wheelchair users how to use a new model of a wheelchair. Finally, we found that using virtual reality to teach designers and architects about the accessibility of their constructions, their designs, is really a helpful way. It makes them feel more empathic to how it is to be driving around, for instance, in a wheelchair in a building construction like this one, trying to find the escalator. My current project is all about providing people in wheelchairs an access to the workforce. And this is the overall idea of the project that we're doing, that by being able to control a robot remotely from your wheelchair, you could actually become a person that assists in facility management. We have a collaboration with one of the biggest world-leading facility management companies, ISS, and they have the problem that their floor-washing robots so often get stuck in a corner. They can't move on because of some unforeseen conditions, or because people are actually bullying these robots. So what if you could have a person in a wheelchair to be a Uber driver of robots, that he could take over and help this washing robot out of its current locked up condition? This is the idea that we would like to make possible by having this platform by which you can use your wheelchair to drive around remotely. The reason why we would not just plug into the joystick of the wheelchair and then use that to drive the robot or drive you in a virtual reality game is that there are so many different models of wheelchairs out there that for you to find a general access or an API to the wheelchairs as a developer would be really, really difficult. So we need a platform that's simple, low cost, that can be transported, moved around, that would allow all kinds of wheelchairs, front wheel, mid wheel, back wheel driven, electrical, manual wheelchairs, to get this access to virtual reality or robots. I see a sticker up now. I only have like 3 minutes back, and that's exactly the time it will take for me to show you the video. I hope this works, okay? Right. Right. So play full screen. Excuse me?
Full screen syncing.
Yeah, we just started down here, no problem. Okay. So this is a Unity game. We are pushing blocks around with this wheelchair, me sitting there. This is our very first prototype, and we simply built it out of things we could find in a supermarket or a do-it-yourself store. We had a model from Lego that people would see in their glasses. And, for instance, the curb here was very difficult to pass. You couldn't drive over it. And when people got stuck on that, they really had this feeling of what it would be like to be in a wheelchair and not being able to go to the sideways. We tested it with 26 users, and 7 of them got cybersick. For that reason, we redesigned the whole setup. We used an electrical wheelchair, and we optimized on the controls of the encoder, how that transfer into virtual reality. We built various kinds of games that people could try out. And we tested the various kinds of interaction principles. So in this case, we use gaze interaction and head nodding to remove the bikes. The reason why we put bikes up as obstacles is that many people in wheelchairs really don't like bikes being parked all around. So we also showed how this would look in reality. We worked on the idea, how would you like to have additional augmented reality interfaces that you could control, for instance, with eye or head movements. In another paper, we compared this to how you would interact with a bike, and it actually turned out that people were better in a wheelchair than a bike. We've used it for testing gaze interaction for wheelchairs, which is a quite interesting idea that even if you don't have a joystick control, you could roll your wheelchair bike just gazing where you want it to go. Now, this is the platform we built, and in the paper there's links to how we build it, the components, and also an open software version of the software we're using for the encoders. And we went out testing it in a care home with users who had never ever tried to play a computer game before. So they were really, really excited about this and being able to, in virtual reality, have a success of going through that bike maze. We could use it with different models of wheelchairs, and we had such an encouraging feedback from the users that this really convinced us that next step should be to explore how you could remotely control robots. In this case, it's a tele-robot we built ourselves. This is the very first time he's trying this, and since he is a wheelchair user by himself, he kind of is an expert on how to drive a vehicle around in this building. That's video. That was what worked today. I'm so sorry for this, and I hope you read the paper, and if you go to the Kai website, you'll also find a video with audio on that you could watch.
Thank you, and thank you to all our presenters and all in the room.